We'll start with the prayer. Audible, Usha? I'm audible now?
Yes.
Okay. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunattu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mavid Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukhat Bhagave. We pray for the happiness of one and all. May everyone be comfortable and happy at all levels of the personality. May we see that which is divine and auspicious. May there be no suffering anywhere. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Does anybody have any question? So just going through the personality chart. The basic idea about the personality chart is that it is difficult to understand where we are and what sort of corrective actions we need to take. It's very vague. See, if you're trying to measure weight, there is a weighing scale. If you're trying to measure temperature, you have a thermometer. If you're trying to measure how much of bank balance you have your passport. But when it comes to spiritual growth, how evolved we are and how far we are from that state of perfection, it is difficult to measure it. So physical things you are able to see, how you look, you see it in the mirror. Weight, you have the weighing scale. Temperature, thermometer. Bank balance, you have the passbook. But when it comes to qualities, human values, basic human values or spiritual evolution, it's difficult to measure it. An indication is the intensity and frequency of agitation. How often we get agitated, how long the agitation remains, and the recovery, how quickly we are able to come back to a state of balance. So everybody gets agitated. Only a self-realized person is always calm and composed. But the duration, the extent of agitation, the frequency of agitation is less. In the beginning, there is a lot of agitation. As we go along, the mind is less agitated. The frequency of getting agitated is less. And the recovery is very fast as we continue to develop the intellect and gain higher values of life. What the personality chart does is, it is like a mirror to our own mind and intellect. What type of a mind and intellect that we have. So we study it carefully and then we are supposed to prepare our own chart. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to generally, so what we all need to do is, generally, 1 second. Read each. So there are 7 classifications. There is action, and we did it in a different sequence than in the book. We went from what is easy to what is the ultimate. Knowledge is the ultimate. I think we ended with that. So we first started with action. Then who is acting? The actor. What type of action? The steadfastness. What type of intellect? Intellect. Renunciation, action are of the same type. So renunciation. The goal is knowledge. Sorry, knowledge is the ultimate, and the goal of all of us is happiness. So what type of happiness we are experiencing? Tamasic, Rajasic, Sattvic. So all these 7 categories, tamas, rajas, sattva. So there are basically 21 things. 7 categories, all the 7 can be divided into tamas, rajas, sattva. So you have to take each one, read it a couple of times and give yourself points. So let's say knowledge is 100. Action, each one, knowledge, action, actor, steadfastness, intellect, each one is 100. Now divide the sattva, rajas, tamas. Sattva, rajas plus tamas should be equal to 100. So let's say you're taking knowledge. You read sattvic knowledge. Your own intellect will limit you. My intellect will limit me. But be sincere, be genuine, and see how much of it you have. So you give yourself points. Okay, I have sattvic knowledge 50, tamasic knowledge 25, rajasic knowledge 25. So basically, you're reading it, and based on your own intellect, you're giving yourself marks sincerely. The idea is to improve. What are my strengths? Strength is what? Sattva is the strength. Rajas and tamas is the weakness. So once you read it, you're able to understand, okay, this quality I have, this I don't have. Accordingly, you give yourself a rating. So each item 100, and then you take an average. How much sattva? So you will have 7 sattva, 7 rajas, 7 tamas. You total it, divide it by 7, and then you will get a reasonable proportion. Okay, maybe I am 30% tamasic, 50% rajasic, 20% sattvic. You know, if the intellect is very poor, you might give yourself 80% sattva. Oh, I am perfect. Tamasic intellect will judge yourself better. So be sincere as possible. It's not easy. So we have covered it in detail, but highest knowledge is sattvic knowledge, where you see oneness in the diversity. You are seeing the Atman beyond the body, mind, intellect. So that requires knowledge. An enlightened person is actually seeing the self in all beings. We are training ourselves to see the self in all beings. Example, the electrical engineer. When the electrical engineer walks into a room, he is able to penetrate through the bulb, the heater, the air conditioner. He is seeing electricity. So how much of sattvic knowledge you have? Thanks to Vedanta classes, sir, I have some awareness. I am able to see the divine at times. Okay, give yourself some rating, 30 or 60. Enlightened person has perfect sattvic knowledge. So be humble and give yourself whatever you think is right. Rajasic knowledge. Rajasic knowledge is ulta. You're seeing differences everywhere. He is Maharashtrian, he is South Indian, he is Bengali, he is Punjabi, he is Gujarati. So you're seeing differences everywhere. You see diversity in unity. How much of that is there? So how much of oneness you feel, how much of diversity you see. Tamasic knowledge is where you're stubborn. You hold on to your own beliefs, which are hurting you, which is not the truth, but you're holding on to it and you're not open to listen to others. Now, to the extent we are caught up in tamas, we are not aware of it. So you've got to be objective and says, okay, these are the areas where I'm not open to listening to others. I'm holding on to my ideas. I need to change. So maybe I have 35% tamas. So sattvic knowledge, rajasic knowledge, plus tamasic knowledge equals 100. Then go to each. So you read it a couple of times and give yourself a mark. And the idea is to improve. So if you give yourself wrong marks, it's not going to help anybody. It's not like you're going to get an award or certificate that, oh God, you are 100% sattva. We are what we are. The idea is to improve. The more sattvic you are, the more dynamic you will be, the more peaceful you will be, and most importantly, you will be spiritual. You are gravitating towards the self. Rajasic and tamas binds us to the world. Tamas is, how does tamas help? Inaction, indifference, ignorance. It's all suffering. You are delaying things. Tamas is postponing things. So where there is tamas, we are delaying the good things in life. Plus, we are attracting suffering. Rajas, you are acting, which is good, but with a lot of mental agitation, with a lot of stress. It will cause burnout, selfishness, ego. So control rajas with the intellect, get into as sattvic as possible. When you are sattvic, nothing in the world affects you. I mean, it's all in percentage. It's not 0 and 100. Nobody is in 0. We are all somewhere, sometimes 30, sometimes 60. We are all fluctuating. But you have some idea where to take corrective actions. listen to everybody, take what is helpful. You don't have to be, can have your firm convictions, but listen to everybody. As Bernard Shaw says, take fresh measurements, learn, unlearn, relearn. Then you will not fall into tamasic knowledge. You're open to others, but whatever makes sense to you, stick to that. If something doesn't make sense, keep it aside. Don't, but be receptive. Right. Action. So much to learn from action. How much are you doing your obligated duties, whether you like it or not? No, I don't like to do this. I don't like to do this. Doesn't matter what the mind likes or dislikes. What is the right thing to do? What is your obligated duty? Are you attached to the fruit? So to the extent you are not bothered about the fruit, to the extent you just enjoy the action, you just do what you have to do, sattvic. And there is no selfish attachment. You understand, if you are good, good things will happen. If you are selfish, unnecessarily you are spoiling your spiritual evolution. Unnecessarily you are getting anxious. So what is sattvic? You're doing your duties whether you like it or not. You're not thinking of the result while you're acting. You're fully focused on the action and you're doing it unselfishly without anxiety. If that is there, you can give yourself good sattvic action. What is rajas? Rajas is desire-ridden activities. Some desire-ridden activities is fine, but you can't be desire-ridden all the time. You have to have a goal, you have your obligations. Let not your desires, what you like, what you dislike, your personal preferences and aversions make you deviate from your goal in life. You are fixing your goal in life. You can't fix my goal. I should not be coming into your life and fixing your goal. Once the goal is fixed, raga dvesha, likes and dislikes, take you away from your goal. So how much of your desire, how much are you desired in? How much of you are functioning in likes and dislikes? How much of your mind is always craving for the fruit? So as a student of Vedanta, understand you will get what you deserve. It's taking the screen out for some time. As a student of Vedanta, what we need to understand is see, the understanding of law of karma is so helpful in every facet of life. The understanding is everybody gets what they deserve. If I work for my company, salary will come. It doesn't happen that I forgot to ask my salary, or while working, I was not thinking of my salary and the salary didn't come. No. If you do your karma phala will always come, because karma phala data, the bestower of fruit of actions, is the divine. Divine can never go wrong. So all that we need to do is keep on doing good karma. You do good karma, it will come back to you. So there's no need to crave for the result of action. But when we crave for the result of action, to that extent is rajasic. So I'm repeating the whole idea is how to prepare the personality chart. There are 7 aspects. Each one has 3 things. Take up one, read it, and give yourself marks. Sattvic knowledge maybe have 45. Rajasic knowledge maybe have 35. Then tamasic knowledge 20. So you adjust all 3 and give yourself 100 in knowledge. Then you take up, what is the next thing we take up? So unfortunately, the guru will give you the perfect marks, but you're not living with the guru, or we are not around the guru. So then you will have to do it for yourself, which is a good exercise. As you study it, you will gain some clarity about yourself. It's like you're looking at your own mind and intellect. Rajasic action is desire-ridden. The person is craving for the fruit. Oh my God, I don't do anything without, where there is no fruit in it, where I'm not getting anything out of it. So you give yourself that marks. Egoistic feeling, I do it all. If I am not there, will this activity happen? How much of ego you have? Be sincere. And all that causes stress and strain. So if you are stressed out, there is a lot of rajas. So maybe I have 50% rajas or 55% rajas. And I have to put in a lot of effort. A lot of effort is rajas. But if it happens effortlessly, The classes happens effortlessly. So then I have to give myself a lot of sattva. So the effort, rajas, effortless, sattva. No effort, tamas. There are areas where I'm not taking action. Maybe I need to go for a medical test, I'm not doing it. Maybe I need to exercise, I'm not doing it. So wherever there is inaction or postponing of action, tamas. See, tamasic action is out of delusion and confusion. If there is ignorance, you will not know only, but then you be objective. Are you giving advice to people without having the proper knowledge? You're giving medical advice when you're not a doctor. You're giving spiritual advice when you're not trained. If you don't know, say, I don't know. Don't, it's dangerous to, little knowledge is dangerous thing, right? So be objective. Where are you giving, taking or doing things without having proper knowledge to it? Sometimes sometimes I've gone to printing press to make some flyers or something. There are these machines, you put the paper, it'll cut. Now imagine you're not trained. One mistake, your hand will be chopped off. Soup, it comes. Now you're doing an action without knowledge backing it. You'll, what is that? Ram is where I'm getting cricket example. The one guy went to bat. First time he's playing cricket without a helmet. You can't do things out of delusion or confusion. Then there's a lot of suffering. So how much of you have to now be objective? Where am I doing things without thinking of the consequences? Now this is sometimes we fall into this action with no regard to one's ability, capacity to perform it, with no concern of the consequences. How many times we get into activities or do things where we did not think of the consequences? The mind presents a rosy picture. I'm doing gambling. If I win, fine. Mind presents a rosy picture, but the intellect has to say, what if things go wrong? I'm going to catch a running train. If I get it, no problem. But if I miss, what happens? So the intellect has to visualize what is the risk involved. You have to take a calculated risk. If you don't think of the consequences, then the mind takes over and then we consequence suffering. So how many times we get into heedless or irresponsible activities which causes injury, hurt to oneself and others? How many times we are doing things which is hurting our dignity and prestige? You can have a seat, no problem. So give yourself marks. Okay, there are times I'm sattvic. How much of sattvic? I'm doing the topic personality chart. You can ask questions, no problem. How much of rajas I have? How much of times I am irresponsible or heedless, doing things without consequences? So don't what you call. You may, when you're reading the sattvic action, you may feel, oh, I have a lot of sattva. When you're reading rajasic action, you may feel I have a lot of rajas. When you're reading tamas, you may feel a lot of tamas. So you have to carefully give yourself marks, adding up to 100. Then get to actor, where all certain times you are not egoistic. You understand it's a group effort. Somebody is doing marketing, somebody is doing accounts, somebody is doing whatever. All of us put together is activity. So sometimes I'm not egoistic. Give yourself marks. How many times you're able to do activities with consistency and enthusiasm? How many times you're doing able to activity where you are cheerful and joyful? You are not worried about the result, but you do it consistently. Maybe there are some areas where you're very consistent and very detached. Whatever happens will happen. I'll do my best. How many times result doesn't matter to you? So those are the areas where you are a sattvic actor. You're not egoistic. You have a lot of enthusiasm. You have a lot of consistency. You're doing everything possible to be successful, but the result doesn't mean anything to you. So to that extent, you're sattva. You get sattvic actor right, most of your life is taken care of. Consistency and enthusiasm to do what needs to be done. In the Ramayana, it says, enthusiasm is a if you have an enthusiasm, it's the condition of success. But you got to find it. How will you find it? Through your own effort, through your own thinking, through your own inspiration. Be energetic, cheerful, and joyful in what you do. If you are not happy with what we are doing, then what's the point? Rajasic actor. He is acting with a lot of desires. He is doing things for greed, for acquisition and enjoyment. Acquisition and enjoyment is not wrong. We cannot survive without acquisition and enjoyment. We need acquisition and enjoyment in life. The point is, are you acting for acquisition and enjoyment, or let it come to you because of your karma? That's the difference. One is a spiritual person, one is a worldly person. Worldly person is chasing acquisition and enjoyment. And philosophy says, Vedanta says, no amount of acquisition and enjoyment will fulfill you. I mean, it will give you a temporary relief, but you will ask more and more and more. The other is chasing Vishnu, let Lakshmi follow you. One is directly chasing Lakshmi, Vishnu will send the sword disc. What happens if you chase somebody else's wife? Husband will give the sword disc, no. But if you chase Vishnu, which is the higher values of life, unselfishness, enthusiasm, thinking of others, doing your work properly, that is the higher values of life. Acquisition and enjoyment will follow. Whatever comes out of your effort, be content with that. And enjoyment, you regulate it. If you're all the time running after enjoyment, you will lose the pleasure. But if you're doing it in a life is for enjoyment, there is no doubt about it, but do it with moderation, with regulation, with discipline. It should not be mind-led, indiscriminate indulgence, then we lose the pleasure. So now if you are only to the extent you're only thinking of, not only, to the extent we are running after acquisition and enjoyment, there is rajas in me. Give yourself marks. How hurtful are you to others who oppose your desires? If you have a tendency to become hurtful or vicious or evil, give yourself marks. The moment others oppose you, the negative side in you comes up. So, okay, here I have rajas. And if you are constantly affected by the fluctuations of the world, you're selfish. There's a lot of worry and anxiety. Give yourself that marks. So again, as I said, sometimes you're very affected. Sometimes we get affected, but quickly we are able to gain that balance back. So now you have to judge carefully and see how much of rajas you have. Give yourself marks. How much of sattva, how much of rajas. And tamasic actor is a genius. Genius means it's very, very beautifully, the way the scriptures put it. Tamasic actor has no goal. So if you have no goal, give yourself marks that I have tamas in me. There is no consistency. One day I'm doing this, one day you're doing that. One day tennis, one day cricket, one day badminton. Nothing wrong, but then you'll be a jack of all trades, master of none. How consistent you are. If you lack consistency, give yourself marks. If you're not cultured or refined. See, if you don't have culture and refined, you will not know. But have some data about yourself. Are you using unnecessarily the foul language? Are you hurting others in thought, word, and deed? Vulgar in thought, word, and deed. If that is there, give yourself marks. Give yourself marks means increase the tamas. So, enthusiasm is there, give yourself marks. You're not affected by results, give yourself marks. If you're affected by results, give yourself marks in rajas. If you're affected by the result, rajas. If you're careless about the result, tamas. See, rajasic person hurts them who are competitive. They are obstructing your desires. But tamasic people will hurt who have not hurt them, like thieves and robbers. Somebody just goes and hurts. So I hope those people are not in the class. If you're hurting people who have not done anything to you, then you're a genius. Puts yourself a lot of tamasic actor marks. But good, you have come to the class, you will improve. Are you malicious in dealing with others? Sattvic person is helpful. He is thinking, how can I be of some service to the other person? If you're thinking of being helpful, give yourself sattva. If you're dealing with people because you want something out of them, rajas. If you're thinking that you will hurt others, give yourself marks, your tamas. Are you lethargic and indifferent towards obligatory duty and responsibility? No, this person is not in the class. I was just talking to that person. She was mentioning there's a problem in the house, and the father who is elderly, retired age, he likes the cook's food, whatever cook is there. But there are other family members who don't hate the cook. Now, the father is saying that I've worked hard all of my life. Can I not just get good food? It's a very legitimate thing. Now, you can't be indifferent to that demand just because others don't want, are not getting along with that cook. That cook is giving breakfast, lunch, dinner to an elderly person. Can't a person just have good food? Now, you can't be indifferent. So that person has to step in and say, our father needs the cook, whatever be the cook, who can be irritating person, but we have to put up with that because that cook is providing food to our father, not once. Every meal is cooked by that, every meal is cooked, the father is enjoying. So now we can't say, oh, I'll take a back seat. So there are times, if you're taking a back seat where it's your obligatory duty and responsibility to step in, then there's tamas. Are you always depressed in life? Oh, kuch nahi hoga, everything will come. Oh, there's a war happening. Oh, prices are increasing. Oh, there is pollution. Oh, this, that. If you're always negative, pessimistic, give yourself marks. I am tamasic. I have to improve here. It's not to criticize yourself. Be kind to yourself. There's no way we are suggesting you should be critical to yourself. And you don't have to share this chart with anybody. It's a very personal chart. It is only to understand yourself and raise yourself wherever is tamas. Get into activity. Rajas, wherever there is rajas, control it with your intellect, with your higher values of life, and get into sattva. If you're in the sattva, stay there. No problem. Sattvic person will cruise to the self. See, every class is like a Surya Namaskar. I'm teaching Surya Namaskar. Now you have to do it with awareness. The more you repeat to yourself, the more the mind and intellect will transform. I'm giving information. When you work on the information over and over again, the scripture says varam varam, varam varam, again and again. Then slowly the mind changes from tamas to rajas to finally sattva. Remember, 100% sattva is enlightenment, right? So we are gradually moving towards enlightenment if you are more and more sattvic. So don't be depressed in life. Don't be despondent. It is okay to feel disheartened, dejected, disappointed, but don't overdo it. Feeling sad, feeling depressed. I mean, depression is a very strong word. I'm not talking about a condition where there is depression and the person needs medication. I'm not talking that. A momentary depressed feeling. Now, if you linger in it, then there is a problem. See, feeling sad or crying is exactly like sleeping and eating. When I got this example, it gave me a lot of clarity. When you are hurt, it is natural to cry. I mean, if you're not crying, you're strong. That's fine. I'm not saying, but it is okay to feel sad. But just like, is it wrong to sleep? Is it wrong to eat? Anybody would be mad to say it's wrong to eat or wrong to sleep. But oversleeping is tamasic. Overeating is rajasic. Similarly, to linger in your sadness and not feeling, some people just avoid it, escape it. That is also not the right way to deal with it. You can temporarily keep things aside if there is something important to do. You don't have the time to linger in your sadness or your whatever dejection. But take it when you have time. Give yourself time, whether it's in a temple or wherever, alone in your room or in a go for a walk in the park. You can experience, or you can experience the grief fully. Don't avoid it, but then finish it and get on to what you need to do in life. If you linger in your despondency or dejection, then basically you're getting attached to it. It's very strange. We want to be happy, but we remain sad. We want to be remaining sad. That attitude of remaining sad for a long time is tamasic act. So, but just feeling, so that's the beauty of Vedanta. You feel the joy, you feel the sorrow, but you don't get affected. You feel it. You're not a robot that you're not, something good happens, something bad happens. There's no reaction only. That is, we're not talking about indifference. You feel the joy, you feel the sorrow. Okay, something beautiful has happened in life, something not so pleasant has happened in life. You understand it, you feel it, but then you have a goal in life. The goal inspires you to move on. Take it in your stride. The more inspired you are about the goal, it's almost like you don't have time to remain sad because there is something to be done. When you have nothing to do in life, that will pull you down. So imagine, just giving an example. It actually happened, there is a story where the King of England lost a battle and he was running away. and he took shelter in a lady's hut. An old lady gave him shelter. The old lady did not know he was the king. So he said, I'll give you shelter if you help me with the pancakes. And the pancakes got burnt because the king is thinking how to win the battle. He is not worried about the pancakes. It is of his least concern. He has to fight a war. Similarly, the prime minister of the country, if there is a personal grief in his life, he can't say, no, today I'll not go to the office. The whole country is dependent on him. He better keep that personal grief aside and jump for the cause he's dedicated himself. Similarly, when we have an inspiring goal for ourselves, that gives us strength to feel the sorrow, feel the joy, but not get overexcited, not get too dejected. Don't refuse to get overexcited, refuse to get too dejected. Understand the joy, understand the sorrow, move on to better things in life. Procrastinating and putting off action. आज करे सो कल करे सो परसों, इतनी भी क्या जल्दी, जब जीना है परसों. This जीना है परसों is not in our hands. We don't know what's coming tomorrow. Tomorrow there could be back pain, you can't get up from the bed. Tomorrow circumstances may change. In a split second, anything can change. So therefore, make good use of, be aware and good use of what has to be done. Do it. Whatever can be done today, do it today. Do it today. Yes. I'm repeating the example which we used to hear from Swamiji. He used to give this example that his father and somebody was going on a long drive, and there was a leaf stuck on the windshield, and the guy, whoever, I don't remember who was driving, I think Swamiji's father only was driving. He stopped the car, went out, took the leaf out and threw it. So whatever needs to be done, duty prompted every call. So an intellect has to be aware, okay, this is the area of my tamas. Tamas pulls you down. We are experts in tamas, to be tamasic towards our tamas. We'll delay. Wherever you are aware, jump up and do it. That's how we change. Jump up and just get into it. So it's like you have to motivate yourself. Tamas is not easy to overcome. It takes time and effort. Rajas you can control with effort. The negative emotions and all you can control with effort. But tamas takes time and effort. So how much of tamas you have? Tamasic actor marks, rajasic actor marks, sattvic actor marks. Next, intellect. Sattvic intellect exactly knows what is to be avoided in life, what needs to be done in life. Are you clear about that? Give yourself marks, to be or not to be. Sattvic actor knows what is true freedom and bondage. See, here we need knowledge. Doing whatever we feel like doing is actually makes us bound. We lose the flexibility to adapt and adjust to the changing world. But if you know, true freedom is detachment from the body, mind, intellect. Whatever happens to my body, pain or pleasure, whatever happens to my mind, joy or sorrow, love or hatred, whatever happens at the intellectual level, honor or dishonor, success or failure, if it doesn't affect me, I am free. If whatever is happening to my life, I'm too affected, then I'm bondage, and then I'm getting bound, attached, involved to my body, mind, intellect. If to the extent you have this clarity, sattva. Sattvic intellect has the clarity to recognize the glory and grace of the self. Self alone is the seat of true revelation, true liberation. So be true to yourself. If you have this, give yourself marks. But if this is so vague, this is so abstract, this is so uninspiring, don't worry about it. So that means you lack sattva. It's okay, be true to yourself. So you know where to improve. I'm not able to understand what is this glory and grace of the self. I don't get inspired by the thought that the divinity is protecting me. Fine. So sattva is less. But sir, there are times I'm able to see the splash of divinity. How beautifully the rose is blooming, or how beautifully, whatever, the eyes are functioning. 10,000 million calculations per second for every sight. Sir, I overate, but my digestion is happening. anything. So to the extent you are able to see the glory and grace of the self, give yourself sattva. Don't give yourself too much, but don't give yourself less also. How inspired are you by the goal of enlightenment? At least let me try and become a better human being. Self-purification. If you have that, give yourself marks. Rajasic intellect is tough. Tough means because you're caught up in it, no? You are considering, you misunderstanding wrong to be right. The wrong values as right. To the extent you are able to see you have Rajasic intellect, that is sattva. You understand? So Rajasic intellect, Rajasic knowledge is not, Rajasic intellect is tough. You are misunderstanding things, but you don't, if you're understanding that you're misunderstanding, then it's sattva, no? So it's difficult to give yourself Rajasic intellect. You're not clear about your obligated duties. If you're clear that I'm not doing my obligations, it's sattva. So anyway, whatever, Rajasic intellect give you marks. Tamasic intellect regards right to be wrong. Nothing wrong in stealing, nothing wrong in hating. You are, so then also you will not know it. Okay. Regard wrong as right. That is tamasic intellect. I don't know what examples to give. You are in a serious medical condition. No, I do not need to go to the doctor. Bhagwan sab theek kar dega. Tamasic intellect. Where you need to go, you need to go. I mean, you have to be clear. How much of sattvic steadfastness you have? Sattvic steadfastness is spiritual path. How much are you inspired? Not just inspiration, how much are you actually trying to practice karma bhakti jnana? If you are practicing karma bhakti jnana, you have sattvic steadfastness. If you are chasing the world, if you say, oh, I have duties. If I don't take care of my family, who will take care of me? Oh, family is dependent on me. That kind of attitude you have, Rajasic steadfastness. Lot of worry and anxiety. Oh, I have to do everything. And you are running after the world. Okay, I have a lot of rajas. Fine. Give yourself that marks. Rajas means stress. Sattvic happiness leads to, sattvic dhriti, sattvic steadfastness in doing karma, bhakti, jnana, gaining the knowledge of the scriptures, developing beautiful emotions, surrendering to the divine, and doing unselfish work leads you to sattvic happiness, which is the happiness within. So then you give yourself that mark. And what is tamasic steadfastness? Imaginary worry and anxiety. Something stupidly you're holding on to some sorrow. Imagining, it is not even a real sorrow. What will happen? Somebody, oh, that person is hurting me. Or you are afraid of some ghost, something strange, and you're holding on to it. Then to that extent is tamasic. Even you maintain an arrogant attitude in life. Tamasic steadfastness. Sattvic. How much of satisfaction do you find just by spiritual activities, just by going to a temple? Not asking anything for God. How much of satisfaction do you find from your morning study? How much of satisfaction do you find from learning this knowledge? Anything spiritual. How much of satisfaction do you find from devotion or love? How much of satisfaction do you find from doing unselfish activities? Life is to give. How much of satisfaction, joy you find from caring for others, thinking of others? How much of joy do you find from doing things where there is nothing? I mean, where you're genuinely helpful to others. So there is action. How much of satisfaction do you find from compassion, kindness, love, gratitude, surrender? How much of joy you gain from spiritual study and reflection, spiritual activities? How much of happiness do you find just being with yourself? To that extent, you have sattvic happiness. Sir, 7. Okay, put 7. Or sir, 20. Put 20. I have to give my marks. You have to give your marks. And you don't have to show it to anybody. Please don't show it to me, Baba. I don't know how to correct it. Because, of course, if you know the person, then only you can judge the person. Hardly, that's why being with the master, he will know and he will guide in the class. Anyways, Rajas, how much of happiness do you gain from partying, contact-born enjoyments, physical pleasures, which are very, very pleasant? How much of happiness do you get from drugs? How much of happiness do you gain from Mm, so contact bond pleasures with the body mind intellect. How much of joy from relation, how much of joy is your, how much of happiness is dependent on relationships. See, in a relationship, I can be happy when the other person is happy, sattvic. In relationship, if I am attached, how can I, how much I'm using the other person for my emotions, then it's rajasic. Contact, see, the definition is contact bond enjoyments, which are very, very pleasant in the beginning, but ends in pain, poisonous in the end. Sattvic happiness is very, sir, why should I study in the morning? Why should I be unselfish? It's sattvic happiness is poison in the beginning, nectar in the end. Rajasic happiness is very, very easy. Junk food, not doing anything, whatever. Sensual pleasures. There's nothing wrong in sensual pleasure, but overdoing it. Indiscriminate indulgence. When you become dependent and you lose the pleasure, ends in pain and sorrow. So how much of our happiness is rajasic? Tamasic, I won't do anything, I'm happy. Ignorance is bliss. I couldn't care less. I don't care. I'm happy. Who are you to tell me what to do? That sort of, I'll sleep the whole day, I'm happy. Who are you to tell me what to do? That sort of happiness, if you experience, where you are neglecting your obligatory duties and feeling happy, that is tamasic happiness. Renunciation. You're giving up what you should not give up. Giving up your obligatory duties. If you have done what you won't know actually, but if you have given up, sorry, if you give up your obligatory duties, that is tamasic. In sattvic renunciation, you're doing what you have to do, but you've given up the ego and the result mentally. You're not craving for the result. Then it's sattvic renunciation. Sattvic renunciation is as a result of spiritual interest. You're not worried about the world. You know it will come. The more you chase the world, the more you chase the self, the worldly things follows. In Ganesha, when Ganesha, you will find all the goodies pressed before him. Why? When you seek the higher, lower follows. So if you are detached in the right way, it's sattvic. Rajasic renunciation, you give up because of pain involved. I don't want to exercise. I don't want to have a fit body because it's too much of work involved. A boy is interested in a girl and the girl says no. He says, oh, I've given the example. No? Did Christ marry? Did Vivekananda marry? What is in a marriage? The moment the person says, I'm ready to marry you or whatever, then the renunciation goes. So giving up something because of the pain involved or the suffering involved or the effort involved, that giving up is rajasic. You still have a value for it, but you're giving up because of the effort. In sattvic renunciation, you have a value for the higher, the lower you automatically drops off. In rajasic, you're giving up because of pain involved. You still have a value for it. Tamasic is giving up the right things in life, giving up your obligatory duties. Dangerous it is. Now prepare your chart. I'm reading it out. The above classification of different facets of action and renunciation provides the material for assessing your personality. Take up each one of them just as how we did it. Study it carefully. Read it 2-3 times. Think about it. Try to match it. Maybe you have to do it 2-3 times. Maybe once in 6 months. How much you want to, you don't have to constantly judge yourself. See, remember on the spiritual path, sorrow is sorrow is when you're thinking of yourself. The more you think about yourself, what will happen to me? What will happen to me? We attract stress. Think about this. Challenge yourself. If you stop thinking about yourself, you cannot be sorrowful. So stopping, how do you stop thinking about yourself? By start thinking of others. Finally, you're thinking of God. The more you think of the divine, the less sorrowful you'll become. The more you think of the divine, the more blissful you'll become. So now, if you're constantly interested in if you are constantly thinking of yourself, how much tamasic I am, how much rasic I am, how much sattvic I am, then that's too much of focus in. Once in a while, whatever, once in 6 minutes, once in 4 months. First time you might have to do it 2-3 times. So take up each item, study it carefully, try to match it with your nature. Be sincere, be genuine. Thus, comparing each one of them with your nature, you may draw your personality chart. Not you may draw your personality chart, you must draw your personality chart to understand where you are and estimate the quality of knowledge you possess. Sattvic, Rajasic, or Tamasic. The quality of action you execute, the type of actor you are, etc. All of them examined together presents a clear picture of your personality. The areas where sattva prevails, where rajas flourishes, and tamas lingers. So be true. This should be of considerable help to locate the areas of your strength and weakness. So how strong you are, how weak you are able to judge and administer corrective measures for the development of your personality. This should be of considerable help to locate the areas of your strength and weakness and administer corrective measures for the development of your personality. Right? Clear? Any questions, anyone? Just one second. Beings fall between 0 and 100%. Maybe we are between 40 and 70. Sometimes we fall into 30, 40. Sometimes we rise up to 70, 80. Average would be somewhere like that, I think. I'm saying that no, let's not be egoistic to give us very high marks. Maybe in some areas you're very, very sattvic. If you're too low down, the interest in attending a spiritual class will not be there. So we are somewhere in the in between. Human beings fall between 0 and 100% development. 0% would be an inert object. 100% would be a self-realized person. So we are not inert objects. And self-realized person would take the class, not attend the class. So 100% would be a self-realized person. Hence, the entire range of people fall between the two extremities. It becomes rather difficult, if not impossible, to clearly define one's personality. The personality chart would therefore serve as a yardstick to measure the spiritual status. So this is the weighing scale. Personality Sattva, Rajas, Tamas is the spiritual weighing scale, a spiritual thermometer, a spiritual passbook. Put it down very, very carefully. And it's very interesting. Might have to do it 2-3 times. The personality chart would therefore serve as a yardstick to measure your spiritual status and program your evolution. Wherever you find tamas, read it out, be kind to yourself, and go all out to get into activities. Where there is rajas, apply the intellect, control the mind, be unselfish, be calm, glide or slide into sattva. If you're in sattva, just cruise. Nothing needs to be done. So that ends section 1, which is the introduction. In Introduction of Vedanta, we studied the role of Vedanta, where Vedanta fits into our life. There is a world, and there is me and you, the human being. Then there is life. What is life all about? Then the values, the code of living, elements of right living. Fascinating concept. Life is to give, develop love for the mind, gain the right type of knowledge with the intellect. When we studied about Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, and we ended with Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Then action. Action. So first, generally Vedanta was introduced, how important it is in our life. Understand what we are going through. What is the world? Who are we? Just just a little bit of knowledge of what the world is, who are we, what is the course of life, then what is the right way to live life, the code of living. Then we go into proper action. Action has to be immediate, exigency, urgency to act. How do you act properly? Get your actions right. Then get your emotions right. Emotions should not be our weakness, it should be our strength. So setting the body and the actions right, setting the mind and its emotions right. Then importance of knowledge and wisdom. Gain the light of knowledge. Then you end with understanding the role of religion and the personality chart. That covers section 1. Section 2 is the actual going deeper into actual sadhana. You are actually becoming spiritual. It's practical Vedanta. You go deeper into the human personality. The 5 sheets, the 5 sheets, panchakoshas. So now it's more technical, just not body, mind, intellect. There is panchakoshas. There is gross body, subtle body, causal body. Then the consciousness. You don't get into consciousness, the states of consciousness in the beginning. What are the 3 states of consciousness? More deeper now with a little bit of intellect, not little bit, quite a bit of intellect. You have studied section 1 properly, so you're more sharper. So you do a self-analysis. You understand your relationship with the self. Then, like one of the most powerful concepts in Vedanta, the 3 states of consciousness. Nobody knows 3 states of consciousness. Everywhere I ask, what are the 3 states of consciousness? Conscious, subconscious, unconscious. Nobody talks about waking, dream, deep sleep. When there is no awareness that we are caught up in the 3 conditioned states of consciousness. So this chapter is probably the most philosophical chapter. Waking deep, the whole concept of Maya is based on this. So Maya will come in the part C, but we have to study the states of consciousness. Then you really start becoming a sadhak. Sadhak is doing sadhana. Sadhana is karma, bhakti, jnana. Very minority needs the hatha yoga. So the 4 yogas. Hatha yoga is for a lazy person, but if he wants to be spiritual, how do you start? So a detailed explanation of karma, bhakti, jnana. See, in the code of living, the elements of right living is also based on karma, bhakti, jnana. But it's not spiritual. We don't bring in the concept of self so much. But karma, bhakti, jnana is for attunement to the self. Yoga is union with the self. So you are doing the same elements of right living to reach the self, to become divine. Now the goal is clear. I want self-realization. I want to get back to the self. Then you become a yogi. Yogi is one who's seeking union with the self, regaining awareness of the self. Renunciation. If you do sadhana properly, you get what renunciation is. So what is renunciation? Renunciation will lead to meditation. Can't meditate without detachment. Detachment means you're not supposed to get affected by the world. You're not supposed to get tempted by the world. If you have value for the world, if you are affected by the world, get on to karma bhakti jnana, abhyas. The more karma bhakti jnana you do, you will gain a spirit of detachment. When you are absolutely detached, the mind is calm, pure, then you slide into meditation. The mind becomes meditative. Through meditation, we achieve our goal of state of self-realization. That will end the practical Vedanta. So practical Vedanta ends with the state of self-realization. So next class, we will start with the chapter. Sorry, where are we? 1 second. So next class, we'll start with the human composition, going deeper into ourselves. Anybody has any question? Okay. We'll end the class with a prayer. The Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you, Basant.
Everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Basantji.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Basantji.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Hariom.
Hariom Sai.